Okay, only for those who are Buddhist, let us pay respect to the Buddha first. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today, since the coronavirus, I cannot conduct meditation, which is supposed to be in February. That's why now we are conducting meditation course, basic meditation course, online-based meditation course. I hope the last meditation course, 100 plus, more than 100 participants are signing up for it. So I hope some of you are also there. Okay, let's talk about the meditation. There are a few questions about the meditation. What is meditation? And why meditation? And how to do meditation? First questions are more theoretical. First and the second questions are more theoretical. What is a meditation? And why we need to do meditation? The most practical question is how to do loving kindness meditation. So first of all, let's try to answer the first question. What is meditation? What is meditation? There will be some different interpretations of the meditation. But for the basic meditation, meditation means living at the present moment. If we could not live at the present moment, we try to live at the present moment. This is beloved. This is a meditation. In the Buddhist teaching, when you see, just take a note as you are seeing. When you are smelling, just take a note that you are smelling. When you are tasting, just take a note that you are tasting. This is the Buddha's teaching. So, in order to say exactly in the short form, meditation, at basic meditation level, meditation means living at the present moment. Most of the time, sometimes we go back to the past. Sometimes we move forward to the future. That's why our mind hardly stays at the present moment. When the mind is not at the present moment, what do we get? Let us say most of the time our mind goes back to the past. When we reflect on what happened in the past, of course we could have some enjoyable memories, enjoyable moments. But at the same time, we could also have regrets and remorse for what we have done, which we should not. So, by going back to the past, our mind is not so peaceful. The same way, when we are moving forward, when we are thinking about the futures, mind is not peaceful as well. what do we get from the future? Maybe not realistic, enjoyable feelings, or most of the time, uncertainties. Even now, if you think about the future, you cannot have any security. You don't feel secure. How about after the COVID-19? Then how much it will affect to the business and so on and so forth. Of course, sometimes we have to think about it, but if we think about the future, then we will get insecurities and uncertainties, technically worries. The worries come from the future, and regrets and remorse come from the past. So in the meditation time, we just try to live at the present moment. When we are able to live at the present moment, the mind is peaceful. The moment mind goes off, then sometimes we think about the past, and sometimes we think about the future, making the plans, and so on and so forth. So in brief, what is meditation? Meditation means living at the present moment. So let us try to live at the present moment. This is a meditation. So why meditation? So I would discuss about this question in the following weeks. So let us go to the meditation options. Once we talk about the meditation, trying to live at the present moment. So what are the meditation objects according to the Buddhist teachings? We must have meditation objects. So first of all, in our country there are many traditions, many meditation centers teaching the meditation, the different traditions and different methods. I am following the Mahasi tradition and the Mahasi method. So mostly my teaching, my discussion will be based on Mahasi tradition. So Mahasi tradition namely focus on the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Even the foreign Buddhists are quite familiar with this sutta. Generally, it is translated as the 4 foundations of the mindfulness. 4 foundations of the mindfulness. In fact, the 4 foundations mean our meditation objects. A meditator is going to meditate on these 4 objects. Here, the 4 objects means 4 foundations. So what are the meditation objects? 4 foundations of the mindfulness. So these are body, feeling, consciousness, and the other mental objects. These are called the 4 foundations of mindfulness. If we are trying to do the mindfulness meditation, we must meditate only on these 4. In brief, body. Body here means bodily movement and bodily actions. These are our meditation objects. Then a feeling, then a consciousness, then finally, mental objects. So body here, what does it mean, the body? The Buddha here said, contemplation of the body. Here the body means bodily, first of all, that could be our body, or maybe bodily movements, bodily activities. Whatever we do physically, all these things are called body here. So then that means all the physical movements can be our meditation objects. All the physical movements and the physical activities and whatever we do physically, All these are called here the body. This will be our first meditation object. Under this bodily movement, there could be some movement without force. Some movement need some force. Without force, we don't move it. Some bodily activities are doing and walking always itself. So definitely we can also say that being action and doing actions. Being actions here means it always being. It's always happening. But I mean, we don't have to put much effort to be there. So what sort of physical action is that? I hope some of you already know that. So-called the breathing. In and out breath. We don't have to put much effort in order to breathe in and breathe out. Okay, then how about the other activities, other actions? It's not like a breathing. Sometimes we need to put effort in order to make the movement. For example, I'm shaking my hand. I need some energies in order to shake my hand. But it's a breathing or the breathe in and out. All these are always happening the way it's that we do not have to put much effort to do that. Okay, that is why our first meditation object will become physical activities or physical movement. Our physical activities and our physical movements are our meditation object, first meditation object. As a basic meditator, we have to focus on this as well, because this meditation object is slowest and it's slower to catch compared to other meditation objects. And physical movements are easier to observe, easier to concentrate compared to the other objects. That is why we have to focus on, we have to pay more attention to these physical activities for the beginners, because we won't be able to focus on the other objects now. That is why we always try to focus on our first meditation object, so-called breathe in, breathe out, and other physical activities. The two reasons, because the physical activities are slower compared to the others, then also easier to concentrate. That's why the beginners, I suggest you to pay more attention to this first object, so-called physical activities and physical movements. So what the second meditation objects are? Second meditation object is feeling. But feeling could be differentiated basically into 5 types of the feelings according to the Abhidhamma. In fact, 3 or 4, or 3 or 5 are more or less the same. So second, our meditation object is a feeling. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, or neutral feelings. These are called feelings here. So sometimes we may have pleasant feelings. Sometimes we may have unpleasant feelings. Sometimes the feeling cannot be differentiated. So we have indifferent feelings. So 3 may be pleasant, or maybe unpleasant, or maybe indifferent or neutral feelings. These the second meditation object should also be focused Why? This meditation object also easier compared to the other two more meditation objects. So even the feelings or sensation could be divided according to the Dharma. Physical feelings, physical sensations and a mental feeling. So, okay, let us say something related to the physical body, that's called physical sensations. Something directly related to the mind, so-called mental feelings. So let us say pleasant physical sensation, pleasant mental feelings, and unpleasant physical sensations and unpleasant mental feelings, and then finally neutral or indifferent feelings. So these five, in fact, same, 3 or 5 more, let's say, but in 5 we differentiate 2 different of the feelings, physical and mental. For the meditators or the beginners, they should pay more attention to physical sensations first. Just now we have it divided into 2, physical and mental. Physical sensations and mental feelings. Compared to mental feelings, physical sensations are slower and easier and more obvious to concentrate. So that could be easier meditation object. Second to physical activities. So technically, in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the Buddha stated 4 meditation objects. First one is the body, second one is the feelings. Okay, I will discuss it later. So the third meditation object is the mind or consciousness. For us, for the new beginners, sometimes you will not be able to focus, you will not be able to meditate on the consciousness of the mind. Because this object is so subtle, so fast. Sometimes we cannot catch up the mind. So for the beginners, most of us, we are not able to meditate on the mind yet. However, if we keep on training, and gradually we will be able to focus on the mind as well. But meditation on the mind needs some concentration. Without concentration, we will not be able to meditate on the mind. The last one is the mental objects. In fact, it is not the mind, different from the mind. Cannot say exactly all these mental phenomena are called Dhamma objects. Meditation on the Dhammic objects. So, in brief, the last 2 are the mind and the mental objects. The third meditation object is the mind. The fourth meditation object is mental objects. So, in order to do meditation on these 2, we need some concentration. So we will find it very, very difficult to meditate on our mind because it's too fast and too subtle. For the beginners. That is why I always teach for the beginners. Since we're beginners, let's focus, let us pay more attention to earlier 2 meditation objects. These are physical activities and physical feelings. Even the second meditation object is divided into 2 groups, physical sensations and mental feelings. even though there are two sensations or feelings, we try to focus on physical sensations first, because these sensations are more obvious and easier to concentrate. So what are these physical sensations and mental feelings? So in practically speaking, now I'm sitting. After sitting for sometimes, my body will get numb. This is physical sensation. Unpleasant physical sensation. Maybe sometimes I got a pain, numbness, stiffness, itchiness, uneasy, pain. All these feelings are physical, unpleasant feelings. These objects are easier because it will not go away immediately, so that we have a time to meditate on the physical sensations. That is why, for the new beginners, let us pay more attention to these two objects. Two objects means these two objects are related to our physical body. First one is physical movement and physical activities. Second one is physical sensations. If we can meditate on these objects related to the physical body, slowly and gradually we can meditate on the mental feelings. Even though the teachings are there, sometimes some objects related to the mind are too fast for us without the concentration. That's why we pay more attention to some objects which are related to physical body. These objects are slower and last longer and more obvious for us to be mindful. So now we have two objects for the beginners. These two objects are physical activities and physical sensations. Physical activities is just like I discussed it. We are going to choose the meditation object. Physical activities or physical mechanism, there are many activities in our physical body. For example, now I'm shaking, but I cannot shake all the time for 24 hours, 7 days a week. Sometimes we may be walking, but we cannot walk all the times. The same way I'm scratching, for example, I cannot scratch myself all the times. So some actions sometimes come and exist, but it doesn't stay for all the times. So all these activities cannot be our primary meditation objects. The object we choose as a primary object must be always existing. And each and everyone must have it. This is the Buddhist teaching. For example, walking meditation is to those who cannot walk, then cannot do that. For example, now I'm saying the scratching, to those who do not have a hand, they cannot scratch. They do not have all these actions. That's why, logically speaking, that only one meditation object, which is always existing, and it always happening without force in our body, is our unique bodily mechanism. So this is called the breathe in and breathe out. This will be our primary meditation object. As I discussed earlier, when I want to move, when I want to shake my hand, there's also physical activities. I need to meditate. For example, when I want to change my physical body, I can change these physical activities. So while I'm changing my body, I also meditate on the changing process of the body. But I cannot change all the time. I cannot scratch all the time. That's why only one thing is always existing in our physical body. This is so-called breathing, or the breath. Breathe in and breathe out. This becomes our primary meditation object. So then that means, if we can focus on this so-called primary meditation object, we will focus only on this object. At the same time, we're trying to meditate on this object as well. So we choose the primary meditation object, so-called breathe in, breathe out. In Pali, it's called asasa and pasasa. Asasa and pasasa. Breathe in and breathe out. Everyone has it. Everyone who stays alive has it. Each and everyone is breathing, not only the human beings. All the beings have it. The only one is they really know what they are breathing or not. This makes a difference. Okay, now, among the physical activities, we choose first primary meditation object because it's always existing in our physical body. This is the mechanism of the lung, one of our organs of the body. So now we have primary meditation object. So then, what are the secondary objects? As I explained earlier, physical activities and physical sensations, all these are supporting or secondary meditation objects. Let us say when I'm meditating on the breathe in and breathe out, in some parts of the body, I might have a physical, pleasant or unpleasant sensations. Pleasant or unpleasant sensation. When the sensation is too strong, I can't totally ignore it. So here we need to explain some more as well. Our mind is out of control, actually. Sometimes we may think we can control our mind. Actually, no. Without concentration, we cannot control our mind. So even at this moment, the mind is choosing its object. The mind goes where it likes. The mind will stay on where it likes. We can't control. For example, I'm meditating over here on my nostrils, in and out. At that time, in some of the mind body, unpleasant feeling arises. Without noticing, our mind goes to that spot, which I feel. I don't even know. Only when the mind goes there, only the mind gets there, I know it's the pain. So the mind is always choosing its object. We cannot choose. We have no authority to do that. So next moment, the feeling is not so clear anymore, not so strong anymore. Then the mind will move to another object. At this time, maybe like in the temple, someone comes in and offers the joysticks, it smells there. When the smell is strong, when the smell is a more attractive object, the mind also goes to the smell as well. We have no authority, we have no power to control our mind. So then the mind is moving. The mind is choosing its object one after the another. So now, even though we say our primary meditation object is the breathing, however, we could have so many meditation objects because of the mind is moving one object to the another. We have no power to control our mind, then no choice. then we just have to take a note where the mind goes, where the mind stays, what the mind chooses. So in that way, we are going to have many objects while we are doing meditation. So some may ask, are we supposed to focus on the single object? Yes, of course we are supposed to meditate on the single object. If possible, we want to. However, practically speaking, it's not possible yet at the moment. Actually, we want to focus only on the single object, but the mind doesn't stay there. Without training, the mind doesn't stay on a single object. Within a few seconds, the mind is moving to thousands of objects. So now, we can clearly understand what are the meditation's objects. There could be so many types of the meditation objects. As I said earlier, primary meditation object will be our breathing. Then how about the other objects? My mind goes to the pain. Okay, at that time, we cannot deny it. The mind is there. The mind goes to the pain, where you feel pain. Then, second moment, Amati passes by. Then my mind goes to the sound. Then I hear. And I cannot deny it, my mind hear. I could hear. The next moment, someone come in and offer the joysticks, and I got a strong smell. Then I got a smell. I cannot deny it. I did get smell. So we just take a note, smell as well. Second moment, I feel itchy. Let us see. How long can I take it itchy? So itchy also physical sensation. Then I supposed to meditate. Let us say, yeah, I try to meditate on the itchiness feeling. However, when I pay attention to the spot, the itchy feeling is a keep on increasing. What can I do? Nothing you can do. So we just pay attention to that unpleasant physical sensations. So we cannot deny that. That is itchy feelings. When the itchy feeling is not strong anymore, not so attractive anymore, then the mind goes to the other objects. We do not know. There are so many objects through the doors of the five senses. All these objects will come up in our mind. Our mind is choosing its object one after the another, each and every moment. So we need to be more flexible. So according to our traditions, so our primary meditation object is, in fact, in the Mahasi tradition, we do not meditate on in our breath. In the Mahasi meditation centers, they always advise to meditate on the movement of our stomach or the abdomen. When the air goes in, the stomach rises. When the air comes out, stomach goes down. So that's why in the Mahasi Meditation Center, up and down, or rising and falling movement of the stomach is the primary meditation object. However, if you are very used to do, very circumstant to do in our breath, you don't have to change. Just meditate on breathe in, breathe out as your primary meditation object. How can we focus when I'm meditating on the breath? According to the Buddhism, just around here. When you breathe there, the air strike. So there is a contact, air in your nostril. When the air comes out, then also the air strike there. So that spot is the place we must pay attention. So we just watch, we just focus around here. When the air goes in, just take a note and say air. When the air comes out, then we meditate on the spot. So in that way, our meditation objects become in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So in brief, now we have 2 meditation objects. Even though the Buddha said the 4 foundations of the mindfulness. Since we are beginners, for a few weeks, we were just trying to focus on the objects which are related to our physical body. Remember, if we cannot focus on the physical meditation objects, that will be very, very difficult to meditate on the mental objects. Physical objects is easier and stronger, more attractive, and last longer. That is why we pay more attention to the physical objects. So now for the second question, what are the meditation objects? For a few weeks, our meditation objects are only 2: physical activities or physical movement, and physical sensations. Physical activities and physical sensations would be our 2 meditation objects. Among them, our primary objects forever is breathing in and out of the air. Between them, we might have other meditation objects as well, like physical sensations, and then sound, and smell, and so on and so forth, which we cannot deny that we just pay attention to that particular objects. Okay? So this is the answer for second question. The most important question here is how to do sitting meditation. Okay? Sorry, today we may take a bit longer since it's the first day. So let us see how we do sitting meditation. It's okay. First of all, sitting posture. How we sit. Maybe that will be the different methods of sitting, but we are trained, we are told, we always sit. The first one, according to the Buddha's teaching, the Mahasipatthana Sutta, keeping your upper body upright. Keeping upright. But keeping upright must be relaxed. This also upright, this also upright. But I don't feel this is a very comfortable. So long as your body is not bending down much, and your body is not leaning against any other objects, then it should be all right. So first point is keeping upper body upright. It's up to you. In which position you feel comfortable, that will be your choice. But remember, about 5 or 10 minutes later, your body will bend down slowly like this. First of all, your body is like this. Maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, your body bend down. The meaning of bending down of your body, physical body, means you are losing energy. Once we lose our energy, our body bend down. Then remember, you need to fill up. You need to keep some more energies in order to keep your upper body upright. So, keep your upper body upright. Then, in each and every 5 to 10 minutes, check your physical body, and if it's bending down, keep it upright again. In that way, you can always check it up. So, legs. In some tradition, especially Indian tradition, they tightly close their legs. But in our tradition, we do not, even though we say cross the legs, we try not to press on one another. The advice is if we press on one another, we can get numb or pain easily. Or maybe it may affect even our blood circulations as well. So in order to avoid that, we push one leg a little bit forward. Then our sitting posture will become loosening. So if we sit like this, my two legs are not pressing on one another. In this position, we can sit longer. Our blood circulation is still flowing. There's no problem. So this, according to tradition, push one leg a little bit, move one leg a little bit forward in order to avoid pressing on one another. So two hands, there's no difference. We can match two thumbs and like that in that position. There's also physical checks. If your touching point is moved, then that means your body bent down. Your body bending down of your body means you're losing energy. Is it natural? If your body bent down because you lost energy, then if you bend down, then your touching point also change. In that way, you can always check your touching point as well. Cross leg, but in our tradition, not pressing on one another. Maybe change in that way as well, but still one leg is pushing a little bit forward in that way. Keep upper body upright. Your body will be upright for about 5 to 10 minutes. However, about 5 or 10 minutes later, your body, if you are not leaning against anywhere, your body starts to bend down. It's also natural, each and everyone walking like this, like this. Then you keep your upper body upright. Second, then place our hands on one another. When we do sitting meditation, it's advisable to close your eyes. In some tradition, they may say half closed in order to prevent the sleepiness. Actually, no. We open our eyes in order to avoid some problems, some keeping our physical body in balance. When we are sitting, we are not doing anything. That's why in our tradition, just merely close our eyes. But technically, just close your eyes. So long as you don't see things, this will be enough. If you close it too tight, or maybe forcefully, then you feel pain around here, there, here, and there. The pain and uneasy feeling may arise. If you close forcefully, then just close, merely close. You don't see things. This is the point. Is it good enough? If you don't see things, this is enough. If we see things, then our mind goes to the objects, what we see. The mind is looking for the objects. So when we do sitting meditation, we close our eyes. This is the sitting posture. That's all. It's a very short instruction. Cross the legs, but do not try not to press on one another in order to avoid some numbness and a pain, and in order to get the blood circulation flow freely, keep upper body upright. However, check in each and every 5 minutes. Okay. Then we close our eyes and then we place our two hands. There's no difference either right or left, up or down. No difference, just put it that back. Two hands. When we are in that position, we are ready to do meditation. As I said, the meditation object. Meditation object, the first primary meditation object will be in our breath. Where do we focus? We focus around here. When the air goes in, I feel the here goes in. When it comes out, just comes out. In that way, we try to meditate in and out. So the numbness or itchiness arises, for example, on my cheeks. So as a second meditation object, I cannot deny it. I feel itchy, I cannot deny I don't feel itchy. Truly, the itchiness is truly existing. So I just try to focus on that itchiness as well. But when I focus on the itchy feeling keeps on increasing. I cannot take it any longer. Then what to do? Nothing we can do. Nothing you can do. Then you can scratch slowly. Before you move, itchiness is here. You are meditating on the in, out, in, out. The itchiness arises here. Your hands are like this. So you meditate on that spot. But the feelings keep on increasing. You cannot stop it. You cannot take it any longer. Then what you do? No, I cannot take it any longer. I must scratch. So then your meditation object change. In out breath 2, movement of your hands. Then you meditate here, moving, or lifting is up to you. So long as you know that your hands is moving, it should be enough. Lifting. Maybe when you're scratching, mentally just take a note, scratching. Then you replace it back, replacing. The normal actions and normal feelings, the feeling will be there, of course. But the feeling is not too strong anymore, then go back to, your mind goes back, try to on that object again. Maybe a few minutes later, you might feel pain as well, neck or blah here, on the neck. Then you're trying to focus as a secondary meditation object. However, okay, this time, while you're focusing on it, the numbness or stiffness goes away. That's good. When there's no object, you come back here. But the numbness is not going away. It's a keep on increasing. What to do? Nothing you can do. So you meditate. But it keep on increasing. So, no, I cannot take it any longer. So I must do something. I must do massage myself. Okay, you can do it. Here, meditate. In out breath 2, movement of your hands. Scratching, replacing, a normal action, normal feeling, and then go back to the primary object. In that way, for the beginners, we are going to have thousands of objects. The one thing is, please do not get disappointed because of that. This is the nature. This is a part and parcel of meditation. No one can avoid it. Okay, this is how to do Cittara meditation. I hope you know, or at least you can catch what I mean. If you are not very clear about my instruction, how to do Cittara meditation, please ask on the Zoom or Facebook by writing the comments. We will have 5 minutes breaks. We will have a 5 minutes break. After that, for the practical question, we will have this week, the first week, we will take about 10 minutes practical meditation time. Then I will come back, then in 5 minutes break. Okay, thank you. If you are not very clear, please write on the social medias. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for paying attention to today's meditation, first meditation talk. So I have a few questions, but Many questions will be answered in the following weeks. And also one question asks, how long should we take a meditation at home? That's why for the very new and very new meditators, today we were trying to do meditation only for 10 minutes. Only for 10 minutes. This is what I mean. This is your homework as well. This is homework. I believe and I expect you will find sometimes each and every day to do meditation for at least 10 minutes, not too long. It's my experience. When I ask them to do it for about half an hour, nobody would do it. So we will start only by 10 minutes, not too long. Don't have to do too long as well. Then for 10 minutes, we cannot say, I don't have time. Now, in these days, we have time. The one thing is whether we are willing to do it or not. So for the first week, today our meditation time will be only for 10 minutes. But we will extend the time in the following weeks. To those who are listening to this Dhamma talk or meditation instruction, I expect you to do meditation for 10 minutes every day. Time, I will discuss later what time is the best. However, you choose yourself. The most important one is you do meditation 10 minutes each and every day in this week, okay? Then there is no questions about the practical instruction. Then that I mean, it means you know how to sit and you know how to focus on meditation, okay? Talking the talk and walking the walk. It's time to practice. I believe you will do the meditation. I will also do with you as well here. 10 minutes meditation. Okay, thank you. So for work for you is do meditation for 10 minutes every day. You choose the time. I expect some problems and some questions from you based on your daily meditation practice. If you don't practice, there's no problem, then there is no questions. So I expect some experience and some problems of the process. For today, I will conclude here. Thank you for joining. I hope and I expect you will come next week. And if the COVID-19 is not anymore here, we can also organize a meditation retreat here. And I hope and I expect some of you will come back as well. Thank you very much.